Welcome back. This is Brimstone with PLXOutdoors again. This is episode 11. Here to do a quick video before I go scout and then do a quick evening setup. Today is Tuesday, January 24th, 2022. I just want to give you guys an update. Still not tagged out yet. Still grinding and still going, trying to go every day, if not every other day or so. Try to get a shooter. So today's topic is where to find sheds and deadheads, what my past experience has been, and I'm going to share with you guys where, how, and when. So join me and I'll give you guys some tips to go try to find you some good sheds. So we'll go ahead and start with when. What time of the year is the best time to go? I would say right now is probably one of the best times. If your season has already closed or if you're already done, go ahead and get out there, start scouting. If your season hasn't closed yet, then keep hunting hard if you have a tag left, and then you can always scout later. But my plan is to start heavy around March 1st. Our season ends February 28th, so unless I tag out sooner, then I plan to put in more time. But until I tag out, I'll probably just scout a little bit here and there before I go set up, and then go for the evening hunt setups. And then once March hits, I'll be looking for sheds and deadheads and scouting pretty heavy. So that's kind of the time frame that I would encourage you guys to go, either now or just start going and just putting a few hours per day, or as soon as your season closes, before everything greens up in the springtime. That's probably the best time, the easiest to see and find the sheds and deadheads. So anytime from now until spring green up, that's probably your best bet to find all the sheds and deadheads. So moving on to how do you find sheds? Basically, you just gotta pick your spots, put in your miles, put in your time. If you don't find any, that's okay. They're pretty tough to find, I will have to admit, but at least you get out there and see new areas. Make sure you use your Onyx, mark spots that you want to go look at, and then as you go through them, then you can just mark them off your list, and then just keep moving, jumping spot to spot, different areas, and maybe areas you think that might look good on the aerial topography maps. And then once you go walk it, then you can check it off. Or if you do find that's really good, then maybe just repeat that, find another area that looks very similar to that, and then go walk those areas too. And just remember, the more you go, the more opportunity you have to find them. So the more time and more opportunities you get to go out there, you're just putting yourself in good standing to find a shed or multiple sheds and deadheads. So just get out there and just keep hiking and keep looking at good potential areas, and good luck to you guys. So some of the best areas that I've found for shed hunting and finding deadheads, the first would have to be thick bedding areas for sure. Anything that has high cover, thick cover, especially near points and ridges, those are really good bedding areas for the deer, just because they're using the thermals and air and wind currents to their advantage. And also right now, with it being colder, the south facing slopes are really good as well. And then moving on would just be looking for heavy trails going in and out of those bedding areas or to the feeding. Anywhere where you think the bucks and does are using the heavy traffic areas, those will be highly sought after areas to find the sheds and deadheads. Moving on, creek bottoms can be very good too. I find that the very, very deep and wide creek bottoms are not as good as the narrow and not so high in elevation, meaning just a 10-foot to 20-foot drop in the creek bed is really good. Usually when people shoot them, the bucks normally run to low areas or going towards water. So anywhere where you can find a creek bottom that's not too deep or too wide, usually that's pretty good, and that I found in the past. The next spot that I would say that I've had good luck is road ditches, meaning the road is up a little bit higher and then there's a little shelf or a little ditch underneath the road, and maybe that could be a 10 to 15 foot drop. usually on that drop, sometimes those bucks cruise there. And so I found a couple sheds doing that, just walking that little drop and just paralleling the road and just walking along, following the road, but staying on the lower end of that ditch and just looking around. I found a pretty couple nice sheds doing that. Fence crossings are really good too. Anywhere where the land or fences encourage the deer to cross under or jump over, usually those are pretty good areas too, near pastures and meadows. Just somewhere where the deer have to move their head and more than likely to have to jump or duck under to get through. Usually those are good areas to find sheds, and not so much for deadheads, but sheds for sure. Yeah, those are really good areas, just because the bucks have to move their head and having to be quite active just to get through that fence row. And the last one would be random areas such as Oak Flats. I've seen that's been pretty good. Oak Flats with heavy trails, those are always usually pretty good. Bucks are always cruising through day or night, so basically those are usually pretty big areas, so you'll have to either zigzag or just kind of make circles and then try to find what you can there. Usually flats with quite a bit of cover, a lot of sapling trees. Those are really good areas to potentially find good sheds. I'll go through here in a little bit to show you guys what I found in the past. If you can find a combination of all those features, where maybe 3-4 of those different features come together, that would be even better. Just mixing, matching, but also looking at onX and trying to find different areas that come together, the different habitat. That's more than likely where the deer are going to be at cruising, so maybe those are really good areas to look for sheds and deadheads where all those different features come together. It is very tough to find them, I will have to admit, but especially on public land, it's pretty vast, so you'll just have to put in your time and a lot of hard work, but it is very rewarding in the end when you find them. So I brought a few here to show you guys. This one here I found on a fence crossing. It's a pretty nice one. He broke off when I found him, but I would love to have seen what he looked like at his bases and his brow tine. But yeah, this guy here, he probably jumped over or went under the fence and then must have got caught, and then I found this one on a pretty decent fence crossing, heavy trails, and then I just happened to walk there scouting that day and found this pretty nice one. The next one would be this one here. I've posted this one up on Instagram and on Facebook. This one here I found in a road ditch, just paralleling the road on a low spot. And then I found this guy. It looks pretty clean. It looks like from last year, but he was pretty much just off the road, maybe just 30 yards. But nothing touched him. Nothing's been chewing on him, so that was a really cool find. So I'm gonna go back to that road ditch pretty soon to just keep scouting and look for more of these sheds. All right, so I got a couple more. The next one is this one here. It's a pretty good one. This one I found years ago, maybe about 6 years ago, and he was on an oak flat, and pretty thick, a lot of sapling trees. As you can see here, the rodents got to it. They've been chewing it up, so don't know what his brow tines look like, but his mass is okay, and his spread and the points are really nice, so hopefully he's still alive. But this guy was for sure on an oak flat. All right, the next one is this one here. Not the biggest, but very cool, nice genetics. He looked to be a good 4-point on this side, and this guy was in a little ditch, and as you can see here, his brow tine is kind of chewed up and right at the base here. Not the most massive, but very nice genetics. Would have been real pretty buck to see in real life. But yeah, this guy was in a ditch just off of an oak flat, and there was a little ridge that went down to a bowl, and I just happened to go down there and I found this guy, and he was only on about a 80-acre piece of public land, so they're out there for sure on the small parcels. You just got to put in your time and your work, and then just put in your miles, and you'll find some eventually. Nice one. And then the last one is just the most recent one that I found here on the public land by the pine bedding. It's kind of a little bit too big for me to do in the truck, but very nice. He's chewed up a little bit around here. Brow tine's chewed up just a little bit, but the mass is really good. A lot of character. Got these little kickers on at the burrs, so very nice find. He was on the edge of the bedding, of the pine bedding, and then I was just cruising through, scouting a little bit before I went in to hang up an evening set. So really cool find. I was not able to find his other set, but I marked the spot where I found it, and I'm going to go back through and look a little bit more in detail. Hopefully I can find his other shed, but it's going to be tough. So those are just some of the bigger sheds that I found. I found some little ones here that are not as big, like this little guy here, just a little fork, a little spike. He broke off right here. So, but just cool finds like that. Just a few other ones, like this guy here was on a little oak flat too, and just found him, but he was all chewed up already. So just pretty cool find. Putting in miles, just hiking, scouting, looking for new spots, and looking for new areas to hunt for the next year. So those are just a few of my collection. I have some other ones at the house that I didn't bring with me, but just wanted to share that with you guys. And then yeah, just get out there, get active, and put in your miles. I'm sure you guys will find some too. And again, my plan is to start heavy on shed hunting and deadhead findings when as soon as March 1st hits, or right after I tag out. So I still got a few weeks left, and very excited. Hopefully tonight will be the night. So if I see anything interesting, I'll bring it to you on the next episode, and just stick along. Thank you guys for the support. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, just post them up on social media, Instagram, Facebook, or here on YouTube. I'll try to respond to you guys as soon as I can. And thank you for sharing and liking our videos, and just want to say good luck to you guys, and be safe out there. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks. Alright guys, I'm in a ditch, creek bed. There's a valley up there, valley up that side. I'm gonna climb up this little ridge right here to go set up on there. But look what I just found. I just walked up on a deadhead. Looks good. Let's go check it out. There he is. And another one. It's dead in a ditch. Good genes, just a little bit young. Cool though. Awesome.